It's late 1989 at night, and two couples are seated in the sitting room this way. They are watching television, and in the moment of them watching television, there is a bang on the door, and immediately there are people who are vended. There's some shooting, and blood spills all over. After 30 minutes, 911 is called. So who is calling the 911 is the son of these couples who have been shot. The couple's name were Jose Menendez and Kitty Menendez. So the son was called Eric Menendez. He calls 911.
What's the problem? Someone killed my dad.
Sitting room, and I found a pool of blood. They have been shot terribly. Police are like, okay, what's happening? Let's rush there. And now let me give you a quick story. This is Beverly Hills, one of the most prestigious places in the whole of USA. And then the police rushed there, and the people who have been killed, the husband is called Jose Menendez, the wife is called Kitty Menendez. Jose Menendez is a very reputable guy in the society. In fact, he was a top executive at RCA, which was one of the biggest that was recruiting young, most talented artists by then. The cops rushed there and they're like, okay, what has just happened? Let's diagnose this. Let's see who is the suspect. What happened? Okay, they check around. They try to look like they analyze the situation, the environment, the crime scene, and they're like, what has just happened here to one of the top executives? Eric told the cops, like, my father was trying to come up with a business deal. Maybe one of the business associates might have gunned him down. The police are like, yeah, true. That could be a potential lead that we could use to identify what really happened. Okay, the police are like, okay, you guys are cool. Let's try to find who the real perpetrators are. So 6 months goes by, and there is just one thing that doesn't add up. The police are trying to figure out who really came and killed these couples, Kitty and Jose Menendez, in their living room while they are watching TV. And evidence came from the unexpected place. Evidence that really changed the course of the investigation. So, after 6 months had passed from 1989, one of the therapists in town called the police and he was like, hello, hi, this is so and so, a therapist in this place and this place. I'm calling to report an incident of murder that was committed in 1989. Would you mind if I turn in and give you the evidence that I have? The police are like, oh, wow, you have an evidence. They're like, okay, you come to the police station, do the necessary things, sign up the necessary papers, and we shall be here to assist you in much way that we shall be able to. So the lady moves and goes to the police station, and she said, like, you know what? Erik and Lyle Menendez are my clients. They came to my place. We talked. They spoke about the challenges, the mental challenges they have been experiencing, all the emotional anguish they have been having since the death of their parents. However, something that was fascinating what they said, they sat down in the couch with me and I was looking at them this way. And Erik looked at me this way too. And he told me, looking at me, and he was crying. He said, like, you know what? We killed our parents. So the police are like, okay, now that's something good. Immediately, they go to search for the brothers. However, let me tell you something. Even before the evidence from the therapist came, it was actually a video recording evidence came. The brothers were also under police surveillance. And the cops had noted that these brothers were overspending the money that the parents had left behind. It was actually $14 million. Boom! With this new evidence, there is a probable cause and there is something that could be made for them to be arrested. So immediately they go and arrest one of the son. The other son was out of the country. In later time, he was able to submit himself or surrender himself to the cops. So they are taken to court. to the station. They signed the necessary documentation and they are waiting for their trial. So in the court they were asked, "Did you kill your parents?" Erik and Lyle said, "Yes, but with a reason." We killed our parents, but yes, with a reason. They said they killed, but with a reason. Their parents were molesting them. That was one of the main reasons they killed. Prosecutor were like, "No, no, no, no. We're not going to buy that, guys, because we believe you killed your parents because of money." The prosecutor theorized it in a way that these kids killed their parents because they were caged. Their parents had caged them in a way that they were not just spending the money they had anyhowly. So what it meant that you guys killed your parents so that you could freely spend the money, the $14 million, anyhow you want. And these were the things the prosecutors brought onto the forefront of the judgment. They said like, "Listen, you guys had the time to go a 2-hour drive from Beverly Hills to San Diego to buy guns that were used for the murder. Secondly, after murdering your parents, you guys had to erase the evidence because you had to drive again to go and throw away the guns, which were never found till date. Third thing, you guys overspend the money your parents left 6 months, just 6 months after your parents had vanished." In 2020, social media post or video resurfaced on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, talking about how the Menendez brother did not deserve to have such a long sentencing given that they experienced molestation. The new evidence is what brought the new change in things. Let me just read you one of the letters that was being sent by Erik to their cousin called Canon. So this is the letter. Let me just read for you part of the place where it shows the experience that the kid was going through, how traumatic it was, how tired he felt. "I've been trying to avoid dad. It's still happening, Andy." Andy was the cousin. "But it's still worse for me now." Modern psychologists argue that emotional trauma could lead to the emotional response they caused because they were so much experiencing the emotional pain. They had just that one moment of releasing it. Okay, she wasn't encouraging that killing them was the best way to do it, but that is what it is. Like, that's just what it is. So the new evidence, more evidence in addition to the letter, is that in 1980s, Jose Menendez was a top executive. Remember I told you this earlier, in RCA. So the RCA company had to sign a new band for kids. One of the band they signed included a kid called Rosello. When Rosello was signed, he was called in New York and he was invited by Jose Menendez in a restaurant. They ate and he remembered being given something to drink. After he drank, when he woke up, he was molested and he was experiencing that pain. He could not walk for like a week. He was not even able to go to perform because of what Jose Menendez did to him. And Rosello argued that Jose Menendez did this thing twice to him. Back then, he was not able to do anything, but in recent time, Rosello, who is now 54 years, was able to file a report against such kind of like against Jose, suing Jose. Remember, Jose is already late. He died in 1989, but he just filed a report, for official purposes. And in addition to the letter, this proves that Jose Menendez was really or truly a child molester. The attorney argues that if that was the case, then their sentencing should have ended by now. They should have not gone for a very long sentence. And the new thing is that for them to be released, and that was what is being fought for. So in recent times, their case was supposed to be heard on 29th of January last month, but due to the recent California fire, it was postponed until March. It's next month. So we are waiting to see what the judge has to say, if they will be released or if they won't be released. Relatives argue that the kids have been incarcerated for so long, it's time for them to come back home, for them to be reunited. I read this letter and I was like, okay, they are really ready to be united. By the December, they should have a family reunion kind of thing. But there is one person, the elder brother to Kitty, who argues that those guys need to spend their life there until their last breath on earth. Wait, you as someone who is watching, what do you think? Should the Menendez brothers be released or what? Since after the new trial has been heard, should they be released or what? Drop your comments in the comment section. Let's discuss more about this. Until next time, peace.